Hey Bobcats, welcome back to the Post TV. I'm Chase Borland.
And I'm Ellie Metzler. Many people in Athens are using their right of free speech to express their opinions and call for a ceasefire on the Palestine-Israel conflict. Reporters Eva Ludke and Danny Gray attended the rally before the Athens City Council meeting on Monday.
A crowd of community members and OU students gathered outside the Athens City Hall Monday evening to rally in support of the passing of a resolution calling on the federal government to assist in the immediate de-escalation of the conflict in Gaza and for the drafting of a ceasefire agreement.
We might not see meaningful or practical results from this gathering, but showing up and making these kinds of demands, even if we don't see anything practical come from them, is still part of the work of social justice.
I feel, and I think a lot of us feel, that Athens takes a stand and just makes a statement of solidarity with the Palestinian people, and even if they're not willing to do that, to make a statement in support of ceasefire. It's the baseline option. It's a simple ask for peace and an end to the violence and the genocide happening.
There could be material cost, there could be professional cost, but there's one price I'm not willing to pay, and that's the price on my soul. So this is soul work. It's showing solidarity with the vulnerable, with any vulnerable population. It's soul work, and I believe in that to the end.
The crowd chanted and sang alongside the Calliope Feminist Choir, doubling that with the vigils and memorials for the lives lost on and after October 7th before heading inside for the beginning of the meeting's proceedings. Councilmember Michael Wood introduced the resolution after the council had received pressure and pushback for their lack of action on the issue to this point. After some deliberation, the council put the resolution to a vote, and with a 4-2 outcome,
with that, the motion passes and the resolution has been accepted.
Athens City Council passed a motion to call for a ceasefire and de-escalation in Israel with a vote of 4-2.
President Biden took a trip out to East Palestine on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border on the one-year anniversary of the train derailment. The train was carrying a toxic chemical that spilled and forced the residents of the town out of their homes until it was safe. Reporter Andrew Bolby went to the site for more details.
President Biden made a trip to the Ohio-Pennsylvania border town East Palestine just over a year after a Norfolk Southern train derailed and spilled the toxic chemical vinyl chloride. Now, more than 365 days later, after the disastrous incident took place, Biden made his first appearance in the town of roughly 5,000. The visit sparked Mike Young to coordinate a pro-Trump, pro-East Palestine rally, and Young says he feels Biden's administration has done too little, too late.
This administration now is killing this country. Our logo, too little, too late. This is nothing but a political ploy for him to come. Towns like this is what made this country. You know, and he abandoned the town.
The rally also attracted Ohio senatorial candidate Bernie Moreno. Moreno is a Trump-backed candidate that is running against Sherrod Brown. He shared a similar testament to the Trump supporters in the crowd.
Oh, he's already spoken to the people here. He's made it clear he doesn't care about working class Americans. He doesn't care about this part of the country. He's here as a photo op because he's running for president this year. So there's nothing that his words will change because his actions said it all last year. No, I'll leave right before he arrives. We're going to turn our back on him just like he turned his back on us.
Let's go, Brandon! Let's go, Brandon!
Along with the many Trump supporters filling the street, River Valley Organizing, a local nonprofit environmental group, was in attendance advocating for Biden to take more action. One of the top demands from the organization is for testing in people's homes to check the levels of chemicals.
We need in-house testing. That surface testing still has not been done. You have residents, their whole lives have been changed. Have to discard all of their worldly possessions.
The group is asking for 4 things from President Biden. 1, to make a disaster declaration, address the healthcare concerns, provide independent environmental monitoring, and finally, speak with the affected residents. At around 4 p.m., nearly 9 hours after the rally began, President Biden's motorcade rolled into the derailment site. While the road was mainly full of Trump supporters, there were a few people welcoming Biden to East Palestine, one being Ralph Neapolitan, who raised the issue of former President Trump being the only person to loosen railroad regulations.
The only person that loosened up the regulations on railroad safety was Trump. More with less. If you can do it with 2 this year, next year we're going to try it with 1. Do more with less. And they got rid of a lot of people on the railroad systems that they used to have for safety reasons, and now they don't have them. And it's
At around the same time of Biden delivering his speech back on North Market Street in downtown East Palestine, a group of pro-Palestine protesters gathered on the opposite side of the road as the pro-Trump ralliers.
You know the railroad safety that starts the checkpoints that they blew through? That was Trump, buddy!
Because it don't attract the
I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, it doesn't like
The people united!
I don't see this little bit.
Biden's motorcade sat at a standstill about 1 block away from the countering protests. Around 1 hour after the motorcade first arrived, the groups cleared out.
You can check out the full video and news story by reporters Madeline Blair and Donovan Hunt on our website at thepostathens.com.
Student Senate President Megan Handel created the Period Project last year after receiving feedback from students about their frustration of not having accessible period products. Student Senate threw a period party Thursday to celebrate the project's kickoff. Reporters Kendall Timms and Jack Beeler went to the party to celebrate.
The Period Project is a year-long initiative that Ohio University Student Senate President Megan Handel created with the Women's Center, the Office of the President, and facilities all across campus to put free period products in all of the buildings on campus.
So they're currently in 15 buildings as part of our first rollout. There will be more over spring break and more over the summer.
Having free access to period products in all bathrooms on campus is something that everyone who menstruates can benefit from. Handel explains that the initiative for this project came to her as she was serving as the Women's Affairs Commissioner because the product dispensers were always empty because they were in tiny little boxes.
So I took on the project because we don't just menstruate in Alding and Baker. So putting them all across campus, hugely successful. Like, so many menstruators struggle to afford period products on the regular. So this will help them just go to school easier.
This period party was held to celebrate all of the hard work that's been put into this project, as Ohio University is the first campus to have free menstruation products everywhere. Handel says the project should be completed in about 2 to 3 years.
Assistant Director of the Women's Center, Letitia Price, says she hopes to make this an annual event.
Now, let's take a look at what our podcast posties have been up to this week. Here's a sneak peek of the latest What Happens on Court episode hosted by Hannah Campbell and Tate Robb.
Hi guys, I'm Tate. And I'm Hannah. We're the hosts of What Happens on Court Stays on Court. This week, we talked to exec members Abby Jenkins and Kendall Wright from Women's Empowerment Training, aka WET.
Tune in as we talk to them about gym anxieties as well as how non-binary and female students on campus can get involved.
But so far, I've everything's been like, okay. But I've obviously like had my days where it's like, just in the gym in general, where it's like, man, I don't really want to go today. But if it's a Tuesday and it's 7 o'clock and I don't feel like going, I'm going to get my ass up and I'm going to go to Ping because wet's that day.
No, it's such a good motivator, honestly.
It really is.
That's why, like, we're trying to do that too. So, like, other people are like, oh, I should go, like, wet's today.
Make sure to give that a listen on our website. Now let's toss it over to our sports editor for a look at our special edition basketball editorial.
Thanks, Chase. I'm Bobby Gorbett, the sports editor. Basketball edition is here with great stories like the Ohio Sophomores Project from myself and Bobby Keegan. In this project, Bobby Keegan and I break down how Ohio sophomores contribute to a quality team today and provide a bright future for the men's team for years to come. Logan Adams and Charlie Fidel wrote about Ohio's freshman basketball stars who have skill beyond their years. The center spread of the edition are stories about men's basketball coach Jeff Bowles and women's basketball coach Bob Bolden. The men's basketball story is about how Bowles has a special connection to the city he calls home in Athens, Ohio, and Charlie's story is about how Bob Bolden made his way to Athens to become the women's basketball coach. Logan Adams wrote a great feature story about Kate Dennis's leadership role on the Ohio women's team. And I wrote a feature story about Miles Brown's illustrious basketball career in which Ohio's fifth year joined his varsity squad as an 8th grader. That's all I've got. Now let's head over to James with weather.
All right, good to see you again. My name is James Zinnbauer. I am your forecaster for this week, courtesy of Ohio University's Scalia Lab. As you can see behind me, it's turned into quite a rainy, messy day. It's been really nice outside, a little bit of warmer temperatures, but we've got a low pressure system that has now moved through the area upwards to southeastern Ohio, which is giving us this rain. Hopefully by Friday morning, this rain will likely taper off, no real accumulations after that, but temperatures will plunge down into the weekends. On Saturday, we're going to get temperatures all the way back down to 39 degrees. Sunday, again, we're getting a little bit warmer at that point. A couple flurries may be possible on Saturday as well, nothing accumulating, no real snow, not like last week. But afterwards, we're getting into a little bit of a warming period through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday we get another low pressure system that moves in, but temperatures are going to be almost near 70 by Wednesday and Thursday, which is super crazy. We're going from 39 to all the way to 70 again. So be on the lookout for those temperatures, and that low pressure system that comes in Wednesday through Thursday does have the potential for severe thunderstorms when that comes around. If any updates are necessary, I will post something later on. Scalia Lab will update you, and we'll make sure that everything's in order if anything should occur during that days. In any case, get out, enjoy the weather while you can this beginning of the week, and stay wary of those thunderstorms when they come into the area later this week. Thank you.
The College of Fine Arts is getting a new look through the renovations, reconstruction, and relocation of their buildings. A resolution was signed back in June that includes a complete renovation of the College of Fine Arts buildings, which houses 6 studies: film, music, theater, dance, interdisciplinary art, and art and design. This would also include adding a building, the Patton Art Center, that would have a 400-seat theater for performances. The project is going to cost about $94.2 million, with $50 million coming from the Violet Patton estate and $36 million coming from the Century Bond and State Capitol. The project is set to be started in early 2025, with initial work starting at the end of this year and conclude in 2026.
With the popularity on TikTok, we asked our posties, what's your Roman Empire? Here's what they had to say.
My Roman Empire is my high school choir teacher. She's dead now.
My Roman Empire is Zayn Malik.
My Roman Empire is how I want to live in Colorado after I graduate college.
My Roman Empire is definitely how I'm shadow banned on Tinder.
So I would definitely say my Roman Empire, and this is quite an odd one, but I would say the United States highway system. This is something that during COVID I constantly thought about just because I was driving everywhere too, and I learned everything from how highways that end in odd numbers, they run north and south, even numbers run east and west, but I definitely would say that the highway system and roads in general are kind of my Roman Empire.
So Chase, what's your Roman Empire?
My Roman Empire is the fall of Dance Moms.
Why?
I have to know why the girls don't talk to Abby anymore. What's yours?
Mine would have to be Chipotle, just because I think about it every day, and I love Chipotle so much.
The expansive Alden Library holds many archives that reveal a lot of history of not only Athens, but also America. Reporter Jack Beeler went to go check it out.
So my name's Greta Suter. I'm the manuscripts archivist. We're gonna look at a newspaper printed by Civil War soldiers in 1862 while they were in Tennessee. And this was a group from Athens, from southeastern Ohio, and they were kind of known as the like newspaper group or regiment, because whenever they could find like a rebel printer, they would print out a newspaper. And basically they said it was for kind of their own regiment to have a record, but it was also, you know, if citizens wherever they were wanted to purchase it, they could do that. I don't know quite like how many issues of everything went out and how widely they were distributed. We have 2 issues, and we have volume 1 and volume 3, I want to say. The first page and the last page, they go through a whole history of their regiment's activities so far. So that's kind of cool. You can see where they went and what happened at different places. On the second page, they talk a little more about who the audience is and how they're actually doing the printing. So they say the day before this issue came out, and so this was August 28th, 1862, they had printed 60 copies the day before, but it was filled with errors. And they said they would be ashamed of, you know, the condition of it under ordinary circumstances. There was one point where they had nearly 300 people sick at the same time. Yeah, so they had measles, mumps, and typhoid fever. But they gave a shout out to the ladies of MacArthur and Athens, who sent them many things for use in caring for the sick. And I think it's such a neat connection to Athens and Ohio University with like our strong journalism program.
The VisCom School is putting on a Black Arts exhibit in their gallery on the first floor of Schoonover Center. During the month of February, the VisCom School is featuring the artwork of Black students, faculty, and alumni. Gary Kirksky, a professor at the VisCom School, said the work on display has gone far and wide in its impact on the world and the community. They want people to know that every piece featured tells a story and some tell a deep history. Johnny Crawford, who is featured in the gallery, graduated with his master's in photojournalism from Ohio University. He is currently working on a project to document Black Vietnam War soldiers. His goal is to document the human spirit. To Crawford, each photograph he takes has a special individual meaning, along with all the other artists. If you're interested in checking out this exhibit, it will be up until February 26th. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of The Post TV.
Be sure to follow all of our socials. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X at The Post Athens and The Post Multimedia. Have a great weekend, Bobcats. We'll see you next time.